hope the message that I put in the post there has grabbed your attention. I think it has, actually. Let me just shut my door. Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm sure it probably will for a few of you. We'll wait for Jen to get on here, because I've definitely never done a Facebook Live like this before, that's for sure. Whoop. Hold on a sec. There we go. So I've just invited Jen. So whilst she's coming on here, yep, she is watching. Okay, great. Let me just bring her on. Oh. Yep. I've just sent you an invite there, Jen, to watch and to bring you on. Your viewers, add. Here we go. Yep. This is turning on and off. Is this coming on here? Hello, Jen? Wish this all happened a lot faster at the beginning. Okay, great. It is on. Excellent. Welcome to the call, Jen. I'll introduce you a little bit more in a second, but I've learnt from the past, it's just better to bring someone on straight away rather than doing this big long chat, and then if the person doesn't get on, then the video is a bit of a waste. So look, yeah, like I was saying, if you've just seen the write-up that I put in the post there, yeah, you probably haven't heard of any sort of testimonial around ketones and orgasms. It's a pretty unique topic. But the thing is that I personally know plenty of people that that can validate this sort of stuff. I can validate it myself, but it's just not like it's a public sort of thing that really gets talked about as much. But the other night when I actually went out and had keto happy hour with Jen, yeah, she happily told everyone, and it was just like, all right, we got to share this shit. This is really good. So for those of you that have never heard of the word ketones at all before, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have also heard of the keto diet, okay, at least. But I'll just give you a little bit of a rundown with regards to what ketones are if you're not aware of what it actually is. So ketones are a native fuel, okay? They're an extremely long-lasting, efficient energy source that are produced by our liver from fat cells. So basically, that happens when you haven't eaten sugar or carbohydrates for an extended period of time. All right. So there's two ways to get into this state of what's called ketosis, and ketosis is an elevated level of those ketone bodies in your blood, greater than what's called 0.5. So when you're in this particular state, it's pretty awesome. I mean, Jen's going to validate it in a second, but there's plenty of other benefits that you've probably heard about over time with regards to fat loss and clearer skin and muscle preservation and better sleep, heaps of energy. Like the list just goes on and on. There's a ton of stuff that we just can't talk about on camera as to what they actually do. But essentially, there's two ways that my favorite analogy with regards to doing this, there's two ways that you can get into ketosis. The first one is essentially you can eat a ketogenic diet, and the second one that you can do is drink exogenous ketones. And to me, the analogy is this. We've got a fire. Ketosis, imagine ketosis as being like a fire, and essentially we can create a fire with two sticks, or we can create it with a lighter. Two sticks just takes a bit of time to do. You can do it, and that's essentially like what the diet's like. It can take days, weeks, or in the case of my very first customer, in 7 months he still was not in ketosis, eating a pretty bloody strict diet, but in 3 days he was with drinking ketones. And a month later, he'd lost quite a lot of fat, 9%, I think it was. Anyways, bottom line is that's the summary there of ketones and ketosis. And essentially what we've got here at the moment is Jen Hamilton here, or Jen Elizabeth, you'll see her name come up. Yeah, she's got a pretty freaking unique story. She's down in Brisbane, and I mean, I can't even use the normal sort of structure that I use to interviewing someone about this. I'm just basically going to just say, Jen, tell us your story. So welcome to the call,
right.
and yeah.
Thanks so much for having me, Brad. First of all, I will give a little bit of a disclaimer. It's probably going to be a little higher than PG rating, so if there's any kids in the room, you might want to pop some headphones on them. I just saw a text pop through from my mum. If my mum is watching this, mum, turn it off. Press the X in the top corner, please, and make sure Dad's not in the room. Anyway, back to the story. So thank you so much for that intro, Brad. So yeah, ketosis is actually something that was fairly new to me. So last year I had a good friend of mine who was doing a water fast, an extended water fast, and she was on about day 4 when she mentioned it to me. She goes, I've just been drinking water and having salts and potassium and I feel amazing. And I had such resistance to this. Like, she was in the health and wellness space for a very long time before I was. And I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, just what, aren't you starving? Aren't you cannibalizing muscle? Aren't you doing all these things? She's like, no, I feel great. I feel amazing. And where I have resistance to something is where I know that I need to dive and learn about something because I just don't know enough about it. So the next time this particular program came around, I was like, do you know what? I want to jump on board. And the program was being on a ketogenic diet, as you spoke about, for about 3 or 4 days, being in a deep state of ketosis. And I knew I was because I was peeing on the little strips that you can check your ketone level with. And then I did a 3-day water fast. And it was an incredible experience. Being in ketosis, I had like the really sharp mental clarity, and I had the brain power, and I had the energy, and I had a few slumps, and I had a few sort of deep dives into just some shadow, but it all was just amazing. And I was like, do you know what? Like, coming out of it, bridging out on to a ketogenic diet, if you slipped up, if you wanted carbohydrates, if something happened, it kicks you out. And like you said, it takes a couple of days to get back into it. You kind of got to rub the sticks back together again. So that was a fantastic experience for me. And then it wasn't long after that, one of my really good friends, Luke, posted a story up on Instagram, and he's in the health and wellness space as well. And, you know, very credible in the work that he does. And he was showing this drink that he was having. He's like, guys, I can get into ketosis with this thing. And I was like, shut up, whatever. All right, tell me about this thing. And so he sent me some details about it. I was like, are you joking? Like, I can just drink this thing and like make more ketones and get into ketosis. The same thing that I did for like 3 or 4 days leading into a water fast. I was like, all right, I got to try this. So he's like, all right, me and my mate JJ, we're going to come over, we're going to bring you some samples. Anyway, my 2 ridiculously good looking friends, Luke and JJ, turn up my door with ketones. And I'm like, good grief, is it December 25th or has Christmas come early? So we were sipping these magical drinks, and I'm just loving life with the guys. And I'm like, all right, I got to give this a whirl. And they tasted good, and I felt great. And
He's on right now. Hey, Luke, she was just talking about you.
And then what I was finding is that I had energy, and everyone that I was talking to about these exogenous ketones were like, oh, you feel so energetic. And I was like, I know what to do with energy. I do a lot of energy work myself. So for those of you that don't know me or don't really know the sort of work that I do now, so for a bit of a background story, I'm a human potential coach, just finishing up my studies in hypnotherapy and psychotherapy, NLP master, all the fun things, but I love working with energy. And the way I love working with energy is teaching people how to manifest and change their life through the energy of orgasm, because orgasm is the heightened state of energy that you can do some pretty fucking powerful epic shit with. And I got a story about this afterwards, about stuff that you can create from it, while we're on the topic of stories. So anyways, like after you know, everyone left, the next day I was sitting at home, and I was like, I'm just looking at this packet like, all right, come on, let's see what you got. Bang down this thing, and I was like, whoa, okay, I'm energetic, here we go, I've got all this energy. Decided to, this was a few months ago, it was in summer, decided to hit the shower, you know, for a solo sesh, as you do. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. I was like, no. This ketone thing, whoa, my body, it just keeps going and going and going. Next thing I know, I'm practically crawling out of the shower. I'm on the bathroom floor for 20 minutes. I was completely depleted, but still had energy. I texted my girlfriend who I told about this thing. So I was like, 20 minutes, bathroom floor, I cannot move. Luckily, I had my phone in there. I was like, oh my God, do I call an ambulance? Like, what's going on? I've got nothing. It was just the best solo sesh ever. And I was like, oh my God, we're on to something. I messaged Luke, and I'm just like, thank you. And then I was like, how do I tell the world about this? And so that's basically where it's at. I've been, you know, I don't sort of share that story too much now that it's out there. It's like, yeah, that's how I got into it. But it really does. And then recently, a couple of weeks ago, I'm a bit of a dickhead. I was finishing off my diploma. I had 10 months to get it done. And I'm the type of person that's going to cram 10 months into 2 weeks. And so I was staying up late trying to get all my assessments in, and I completely screwed up the date that everything was due. I thought I had to the 26th. it was actually the 23rd. And it was by about the 20th, I realized this. This was of June. And I was like, shit, I thought I'd pace myself and I've got 6 days left. I've only got 3. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Have ketones. I'm not going to go for the sugar, have the lollies and the chocolate and all the things to go up and come back down. I ain't going to do that with coffee either. I'm just going to have my ketones. And so I was messaging my friend Sammy and I'm like, boom, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to be up all night. He's like, I'm working too. We kept each other accountable. Every time I submitted an assessment, I'm like, I'm not tired yet. And I was up dancing to Taylor Swift, Shake It Off after every one. I was like, I got all this energy. And if my neighbors can see him, they're going to think this chick's a fucking weirdo. And so it actually got me through the end stages of my diploma, pulling almost all-nighters. I was like pumping 18-hour days, sleeping for 4 hours, getting up the next morning and not being completely screwed. I was feeling like a normal human being. And so that's my story of ketones.
Well, that's pretty unique. I was just seeing some of the messages coming up whilst you were speaking. You've got some new followers. I think you're going to get an extra friend count jumping up pretty soon there, Jen. So, Jen's done some personal research. Research is really important these days, as we are in the Western world with our science. And she's done some peer-reviewed, solo-reviewed research.
Solo reviewed, yeah.
Maybe there'll be peer-reviewed stuff in the future that you will share. Who knows? But
we'll see.
We'll see. But mate, that's epic. And I loved it the other night when you told us all as well. I was just sort of like, far out. This needs to be told to the world, because I think, like on a serious note, like I have over the years had so many, and you probably have as well. It's just, it comes up with in my questionnaires, at least with clients, that they're really sick, they're really stressed, they're really run down, and essentially when you're in a state like that, you've got this granddaddy hormone called pregnenolone, and that's essentially where you create your sex hormones from, and also your stress hormones. So essentially, if your body's like, you know what, I want to be you're telling me to be a bit more stressed this week, got no time for any of those sex hormones things. Hence, people don't have enough hormones to be able to even create sex hormones, and at the same time, they start popping Viagra and all that sort of stuff all the time. So, this is really cool. So I'm so glad that you did share this story, because I think we're going to be tagging the heck out of it for years to come, to be honest. And so if any of you would like to,
I didn't get to share my story.
Oh yeah.
Hang on. So the work that I do, like I said, so manifesting with the state of that heightened state of orgasm and, being the highest vibrational energy to attract things. I was actually having a ketone-induced solo sesh one day, and I was like, do you know what? I just want to manifest more money into my life. I'm just going to work on that at the moment. Literally, I was like looking at the time. I was like, I got to get to the shops. I go, all right, I got 10 minutes. Let's go. So bang out a session, did what I had to do, get in my car, go to drive out my driveway, look down on the footpath, there's a $50 note. You can't tell me it doesn't work.
Wow, that's cool. Literally putting it out there, man.
It's powerful stuff.
In every you were vibrating at a new level, maybe you were vibrating in a few different ways, but vibrating at a new level.
So many places we can take that.
Oh my God, this is fucking hilarious. I just shared it on the Keto Life as well, 45,000 people. So I've seen the number sort of pump up a little bit.
I
there
just
over
saw
time,
a message come through saying I need to know more about this. So I thought I'd get notifications off, but I'm a bit nervous to check that text message from my mum afterwards. Sorry, Mum.
So if anyone is on this call that's friends with either one of us and you want to know more about it, we're going to put some information underneath with regards to like a simple image and a couple of images that explain the benefits, just so you don't forget if you've come in at this time in comparison to the start. A little video that explains it in like 4 or 5 minutes, what ketones and ketosis and drinkable stuff is. And then also a Dr. Heather video. She's awesome. She explains a lot of cool stuff. But then also, if you want to actually either try out a 5 or a 10-pack taster, or you just want to do what the majority of people do and buy 1 to 2 boxes worth, like 3 to 6 weeks worth, then just comment below, reach out to us personally, and we can hook you up to Orgasmatron. So you freaking rock. Thank you so much. If any of you out there would, I don't know, is there an emoji for Orgasms? I don't know. Maybe it's fire. There's got to be something else in there.
Just the no, the 3 water droplets is generally what the cool kids use, Brad. So I've read. So I've read.
Oh my God, is that what it is? Oh, the 3 water droplets. So if you too would like to experience lots of droplets, then please put that as an emoji in the comments. Frickin', this is hilarious. You rock. Thank you so much. We'll cut it there. And yeah, you rock. Have a great rest of your night there, Jen. And I'll see you at the next
Thanks for
Keto
having me,
Happy Hour
Brad.
as well. No
Yes,
worries.
you will. Happy hour it is.
See you later. Bye.